What a night in Rio. The crowd was electric, the arena was shaking, and Charles Bronx Oliveira just gave the performance and post-fight interview of his life. After finishing Mateusz Gamrot with a slick rear naked choke in the second round, Oliveira stood in the center of the octagon, tears in his eyes, his family by his side, and the Brazilian crowd chanting his name like a national anthem. This wasn't just another win. This was personal. This was Brazil's hero coming home. The official time was 2 minutes and 48 seconds of round 2. Submission by rear naked choke. The referee raised his hand, and the arena erupted. Your winner, Charles Bronx Oliveira. The noise was deafening. Thousands screamed his name as he raised the flag high. And for a brief moment, Oliveira just stood still, eyes closed, letting it all sink in. 15 years in the UFC, countless battles, record-breaking submissions, and he was still here, still on top, still representing Brazil with pride. When the microphone was handed to him, Oliveira couldn't hold it back. His voice cracked, his eyes filled with tears. He didn't talk about money, fame, or titles. He talked about people. He said this moment wasn't about wealth or glory. It was about heart, faith, and country. This is for Brazil, he said. This is for everyone who believed in me when nobody else did. You could feel the emotion. The crowd chanting, "Do Bronx." "Do Bronx," like a war cry. It wasn't a fighter giving an interview. It was a man speaking directly to millions who saw themselves in his story. Then came a beautiful moment. Oliveira called his family into the cage. His father, his wife, his little kids. He held his baby high above his head as the camera zoomed in. He smiled and said, "This is what it's all about." For Oliveira, this victory wasn't just for him. It was for the people who stood by him when he had nothing. From the streets of Guarujá to the UFC spotlight, he's carried them with him every step of the way. He thanked the UFC staff, especially Hunter Campbell, saying, "I don't even know if I can say this on camera, but thank you for believing in me." I love you, brother. It was pure gratitude, a side of Oliveira that fans rarely see, but one that explains exactly why he's loved by everyone in the sport. When the interviewer asked how it felt to dominate a dangerous opponent like Gamrot, Oliveira's energy shifted. He went from emotional to fiery. He said Gamrot claimed all week that nobody could stop Oliveira. And he was right. But when Gamrot said there was no pressure, Oliveira fired back. "Look at this crowd! Look at this flag! You call this no pressure? This is Brazil! This is everything!" The fans went wild. Oliveira wasn't just celebrating. He was sending a message. He wasn't fighting for a paycheck. He was fighting for the pride of an entire nation. And on this night, he carried it perfectly. Then came the part that made every MMA fan jump off their seat. After all the emotions, all the respect, all the gratitude, Oliveira looked into the camera and said, "Hey, Hunter! Hey, Dana, Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway, BMF title. Let's make it happen." The crowd was excited. That's right. He called out Max Blessed Holloway, the same man he fought way back in 2015. Oliveira wants that rematch, and he wants it for the BMF belt. More importantly, he said he wants that fight to be his last one. Imagine that. The final chapter of one of MMA's greatest careers being a BMF showdown between Oliveira and Holloway. Two legends, two divisions, two of the most exciting fighters ever. It's the kind of matchup that would headline any card in the world. Right after his call-out, Oliveira cracked a smile and joked, "I think I just won another 50 grand tonight." The crowd laughed, and the energy shifted from intensity to celebration. He promised that with that bonus, he's going to throw a huge party in the favela. He said, "We celebrate in the community. It's Children's Day. And this is for them. The kid from the favela made it to the world. That line hit hard. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't rehearsed. It was real. A reminder that the man who grew up with nothing now gives back to the same streets that raised him. As the crowd roared his name, you could feel that this moment might have been one of the last times we'll see Charles Oliveira inside the Octagon. He's already hinted at retirement, saying he wants one last dream fight, one more title, before calling it a career. If that's true, what a run it's been. Most submissions in UFC history, most finishes in UFC history. Former lightweight world champion and one of the most exciting, fearless fighters to ever step inside the cage. Charles Oliveira doesn't just fight, he shows passion. Every time he walks out to O Guarani, the world knows something special is about to happen. His style, his attitude, his faith, they've all made him one of the most respected names in MMA. When the camera cut back to him one last time, Oliveira was kneeling in the middle of the octagon, kissing the canvas. He pointed to the crowd and shouted, "This is for you, Brazil!" The emotion in the arena was unmatched. Fans were crying, waving flags, shouting his name. He didn't need a belt to prove his greatness that night. His legacy was already sealed. Because what defines Charles du Bronx? Oliveira isn't just his skills or his records. It's his heart. It's his story of rising from poverty, being counted out, and proving the world wrong again and again. So as he left the cage, holding his child in one arm and the Brazilian flag in the other, one thing was clear. Charles Oliveira isn't just a fighter. He's a symbol of hope, a hero to millions. And no matter what happens next, whether it's the BMF fight with Max Holloway or retirement, his name will forever be remembered among the greatest to ever do it. From the favelas of Brazil to the bright lights of the UFC, du Bronx showed the world what true passion, heart, and perseverance look like. And on this unforgettable night in Rio, Charles Oliveira reminded everyone why he'll always be the people's champion. Like this video, comment, and subscribe for more interesting updates. See you in the next video.